Nobody tells you that grief has a smell, and it's your mama's kitchen the first morning she's not in it. We're gonna answer every single one, and we're gonna laugh a little, and we're gonna cry a little, and we're gonna get you through the front door. Deal? Deal. Y'all, I wanna talk about the most passive-aggressive object in the entire universe. It is not your ex, it is not your group chat, it is a junk drawer in a dead woman's kitchen. Because you open that thing hoping for closure, and instead you find 42 twist ties, a single AA battery of unknown allegiance, 3 rubber bands that have fused into a rubber rock, and, I promise you, a soy sauce packet from a Chinese restaurant that closed during the Clinton administration. And you stand there thinking, do I keep the soy sauce? Is the soy sauce grief? Am I dishonoring my mother if I throw out the soy sauce? Sweetheart, listen, the soy sauce is not your mother, but the feeling, that little panic that says, I can't, what if I need it? That feeling is real, and it deserves a seat at the table, just not the whole table. Today, we're gonna figure out which feelings sit down and which ones can go wait in the car. Yo, a few years back, I helped a friend, I'll call her Dana, cause that's not her name and she'd kill me, clean out her daddy's house after he passed. Sweetest man, kept everything, and I mean everything. This man had a drawer labeled strings too short to use, an actual drawer for strings that he had already decided were useless, but kept, because throwing away useless string felt like giving up. And Dana and I are standing in the living room at 9 a.m. with a box of contractor bags and a gas station breakfast, and she just froze. Full stop. Because there was his recliner, and it still had the shape of him in it. You know that shape. The cushion remembers the person even when the person is gone. And she looked at me and said, Margo, I can't do the recliner today. And I said, then we don't do the recliner today. And we did the string drawer instead, because the string drawer didn't have his shape in it. We started with the stuff that was easy to release, and we let the hard stuff wait until she was stronger. By the end, she wasn't fixed. Grief doesn't get fixed, but she was lighter. She could breathe in that house again. That day taught me everything I know about this. So let's unpack it. Okay, real talk, question by question. I want these to be the answers you'd actually say out loud to somebody crying on their mama's porch. How do you clear out a deceased parent's home? You do it in layers, not all at once. Start with the neutral stuff, expired pantry, old towels, the string drawer, and save the emotional landmines for last. Sort into 4 piles. Keep, give, donate, and decide later. That 4th pile is the one nobody tells you about, and it's the one that saves your sanity. You are not required to make every decision in one weekend. Grief is not a garage sale with a deadline. What do you do with your parents' belongings after they pass? Here's the honest answer. You keep what tells the story, you release what tells the inventory. You don't need all 40 coffee mugs to remember she loved coffee. Keep the one, photograph the rest, give some to the cousins who'll actually use them. The love is not stored in the object. It's stored in you. The mug is just a witness. How do you downsize an elderly parent's house? Because sometimes, thank God, they're still here. You do it with them, not to them. Big difference. That house isn't clutter to them, it's their whole life in square footage. So you go slow, you let them tell the story behind the thing before you ask them to let it go, and you give them the dignity of the final say. And listen, a lot of downsizing isn't throw away, it's not ready yet and that's allowed, which is exactly what a storage unit is for. We'll get there. Is it normal to feel guilty getting rid of a parent's things? Oh, sweetheart, it is not just normal, it is universal. That guilt is love with nowhere to go. But hear me, letting go of a thing is not letting go of a person. You are allowed to donate the couch and keep the memory. Throwing out his reading glasses does not throw out the way he looked at you over the top of them. The guilt is proof you loved him. It is not proof you did something wrong. How long should you keep a loved one's belongings? As long as you need, and not one day longer out of fear. There's no calendar on this. Some folks are ready in 6 months, some in 6 years. The rule I love: don't make permanent decisions in the loudest part of the grief. If you can't tell whether you want to keep something or you're just scared to lose it, that's not a throw it away moment. That's a put it somewhere safe and revisit it when the storm quiets down moment. Where do I put sentimental items I'm not ready to sort? Now this is the question, isn't it? Because the two options everyone everybody thinks they have are cram it in your garage until it becomes a monument to your avoidance, or throw it out and spend the next decade regretting it at 2 a.m. But there's a third door, and it is the whole reason I've got a show. Here's what I've learned, y'all. Grief needs time, and time needs space. Not metaphor space. Actual, literal, climate-controlled square footage. Because the cruelest thing about cleaning out a parent's house is that the clock is usually not yours. The house has to sell. The lease is up. The siblings are circling. Everybody's rushing you to decide, while your heart is still going, I just need a minute. A YourWay storage unit is that minute. It's you saying, I am not throwing this away, and I am not living inside of it either. I'm setting it down, gently, until I'm strong enough to sort it with love instead of panic. That's the recliner. That's daddy's shape in the cushion. You don't have to bury it in a landfill on the worst week of your life. You put it somewhere safe, you close the door, and you come back in 6 months when you can hold it without the room spinning. Some of it you'll keep. Some of it you'll finally, peacefully let go. But you'll do it on your timeline, not the estate lawyer's. It's not a unit. It's a pause button for your heart. It's a boundary between I have to decide everything right now and I get to decide when I'm ready. And honestly, that's the kindest thing you can give a grieving person. Room to breathe. So here's the deal, y'all. Your mama's china does not have to go in a dumpster, and it does not have to go in your marriage-ending garage stack either. There's a middle. There's a door with your name on it and a light that doesn't judge you. Because grief isn't something you organize your way out of in a weekend. It's something you carry, a little at a time, setting down what's heavy when your arms get tired, picking it back up when you're ready. You don't have to be done. You just have to be gentle. Got emotional baggage? We've got units. Because peace deserves space. Real space. The kind with a roll-up door, and your heart deserves the time to sort itself out slow. So when they're rushing you and the house is echoing and you're standing in the hallway holding a mug that isn't yours, remember, sweetheart, when life gets messy, store it your way. Head to yourwaystorage.com and book yours in 60 seconds, which is less time than you've spent avoiding this decision. The price you see is the price you pay, sweetheart, because your peace deserves square footage, not another year in the garage. So go on now. When life gets messy, store it your way.